Welcome back to Misscliks D&D Lost Mine, in which I am a first-time DM bumbling her way through the starter set adventure Lost Mine of Phandelver for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition with my crew, whom has been playing D&D together for quite some time, although this is one of our first 5th edition campaigns. We're using the pre-generated characters from that adventure, and we've just completed a long rest and decided to go down the Tribor Trail back to the Goblin Hideout.
Guys, I think we got it this time. I figured out what it is. I needed more wine and ice cream to get through this. We're going to handle it well now.
If you believe this is the way to do it, then it must be. Your instincts have led us... Well, actually, we did not follow your instincts so far, but they seem to be right, so we should follow them from now on. Let's rejoice in this ice cream and wine.
It's my fault. You see, I had my lucky coin in the wrong pocket, so now I put it in the right one.
Oh, it
Dude,
must be
do
that.
it. Do it, man.
Especially now that I fed Jeanette, I believe we're back in the good graces of the gods.
All right, well, let's do this stuff.
All right. You leave the wagon behind once more. You continue down the trail. As you approach the places where those traps had been laid that you disarmed before, you do know exactly where they are, so you notice them, but you see that they've been rearmed.
Ooh.
That means somebody is around here.
Or has been since the last 8 hours, but yes.
Yes, my instincts say that the goblins did this.
Ooh, we must trust your instincts.
Well, we better be careful, because what if they release the dogs on us?
Yes, they might unleash the dogs, indeed.
You can fairly easily just sidestep these traps, and as long as you have no other desires, you are able to make it back to the mouth of the cave with little trouble.
I prepare speak with animals before we enter the cave.
Sure.
Gotcha.
Well, this time around, we'll do what Guy suggested the first time, and we'll try to see if they're the goblin outpost lookouts this time.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my hand off your shoulders before we go, and I'm like, my mighty stealthy friend, I hope that with these words of guidance, your ability to be stealthy and dexterous will be increased by at least 4 points. So you see, when being stealthy, the key is really to kind of lower yourself a little bit more, even though we're already short, and do little bends like this.
I need to embrace the fact that I'm so small. Do you guys want to move your characters back to the bottom left? And I'll try to stealth up to that spot that Guy was the first time. So stealth, and I'll roll 1d4 for guidance, right? So that's a 12.
By the way, I casted guidance, if that was not obvious.
Stealth my way up here.
This is that.
All right. Sorry, I'm pulling up the adventure one more time. All right.
You get an additional D4.
Yep, I added 2.
Okay.
All right. So you're not walking into the cave. You're just kind of looking into the mouth.
Not even into the mouth. So first I'm approaching from the west side along the bushy area.
Right.
And then I'm trying to see if those 2 goblin guards that were there the first time, if there are more goblins there now.
Nope. You just see the dead body of the goblin.
Okay. The coast is clear, I say. Let's go into the mouth of the cave again.
Okay, my friend. I trust your instincts.
I follow behind.
Try not to talk to the wolves this time. Maybe we can shoot them while they're still chained.
No. I'm ready to talk to them. I've been doing this ritual for 10 minutes. I believe my wolf-speaking ability is up to par. Look at this.
That's right. You can do it before. Okay.
So, all right. Yeah, go ahead. You enter the cave.
Mm-hmm.
And you're standing...
Are you casting light on Guy's sword again?
No,
Sure.
I'm using my bow this time, man. Like,
Oh, okay.
I'm a much better shot than I am a swing.
Okay, then shall you light the way, Thoradin?
Sure. I cast light on. Oh, I have a shield on my shield.
Okay, so the light is coming from Thoradin now. Shield glows, emanates a bright light.
Yeah.
And Thoradin, are you the first one into the cave?
Yes.
I'll be right behind you this time,
And
Thoradin.
I warned the wolf. I'm like, in wolf language, I'm like, Wolfie, please.
You hear a low growl.
We come in peace. We're really sorry about the misunderstanding. We're here to free you to escape from the evil goblins that keep you in this place.
Roll an animal handling check. Ooh. The wolf, you hear the wolf answer back, I'm so hungry.
Ooh, I can come back and get you some food as well. Let me get you some food. I go back to the party. I'm like, we need to feed the wolf. Is there any?
There's a guy right there. I point towards the goblin.
The thighs, man. I'm hungry.
Yeah, I ask, do you mind for some goblin meat?
That sounds delicious.
Bring the goblin. It's a little bit old, but I'm sure he's not picky after starving.
I'm not picky.
we bring the goblin.
Hop across the river. I'll grab that goblin.
Ooh, actually, I also cast another ritual, which is purified food and drink, and I make the goblin even more delicious.
All right.
I come forth like super nicely carrying the dead goblin, and I'm like, we're sorry about your friend.
All right. So as you approach, I'm just going to move you.
It may be an ambush, but it's okay.
That's such a smart idea because now they'll really like goblin meat. So they should attack all the goblins.
So you bring this goblin. You bring, oops, that's you. And you toss it in there between what you now see is two wolves still chained to stalagmites. And they fall upon that. And you hear them, oh, this is delicious. Oh, you're the best thing that's ever happened to us. We're going to be loyal to you forever.
I love these wolves.
They seem to be pretty beholden to you.
What are your names?
Oh, good question. The first one that had been trying to break free of its chain that you were talking to says, I'm Rory. And this is Randall.
And Randall.
Rory and Randall, yep. And they kind of, wipe their jaws of all this goblin gore.
Yeah.
And they do a little doggy bow to you and they say, you may pass.
Well, we may also be able... Let's try freeing you first and then wreak havoc on the goblin. You can eat all the goblin meat. All the goblin meat. Just goblins, though. No humans. Humans are nice.
What is the difference between a goblin and a human?
Well, they just look like what you just ate.
That looked like meat.
I shall point them to you.
You look like a goblin.
Don't eat me, or else I can't point you towards the eatable goblins.
They seem to consider this. They seem very confused by this, but they're trying to. They're like they want to please you. You're their master now, so they're like trying to be like, yeah, we understand. They totally don't understand.
Yeah, it's a little bit risky.
But they don't seem to be any danger to you.
Well, I guess my cousin has a beard, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so don't eat these guys with me, and no people with beards.
Chin fur.
Yeah, chin fur is bad. Stuck between the teeth. Ugh.
They're considering this.
Let's try to untie you. Can I try to untie them? I have a warhammer and a hand axe.
Sure. Make a... Let's see if we have... Yeah, make an attack versus the chain or the stalagmite.
Actually, would you mind, my friend, trying to do it with your stealthy halfling skills? Maybe you can
yes, I was about to say, I'm pretty handy with this thing. Hey, you're sure they're not going to try to eat me, right?
Please don't eat him. He will free you so we can go kill and
I'm
eat
also
the
small,
goblin.
not that much of a meal.
They nod.
He's pointing out that he's small and not that much of a meal anyway. Goblins aren't much taller, but whatever.
When you look at the chains that are holding the wolves, you see that it's not like a locking mechanism. It's actually just a chain with that's kind of been like sloppily welded together and driven into the stalagmite. So it looks as though these wolves aren't supposed to be like taken out and put back in. These wolves are supposed to be standing here guarding this room. So it's not something that you could lock pick. It's something that you're going to have to either take the spike out of the stalagmite or break the chain somehow.
I guess.
And they're like tied really tight along their neck, I suppose.
It's just a metal collar, yeah, that's kind of just like welded shut. You can see that they've been wearing it for a long time. It's kind of chafed along their neck.
Poor wolves. Yeah, I guess we'll just... It's all metal throughout? Like every part of this is metal?
Mm-hmm. Except for the stalagmite that it's driven into, which is rock. But you can see that the first wolf has actually made some headway on pulling free of the chain. So it seems like it's kind of loose.
How do you pull through the... Like when the wolves came to us, was it like dragging the pole with it, or did it actually get out?
It had pulled the spike free of the stalagmite.
Since I have like shocking grasp, I know that's used on enemies, but could I use that on the rock that it's in to kind of crack it?
Have you ever tried shocking a rock before?
No.
But
I imagine, putting lightning on it, that it would crack that area.
The wolf?
No, if I'm not touching the wolf, I'm just touching the rock. So I could touch the rock and send it through that.
Science checks out.
Do you do it?
I do it. I go up to the rock and I just shock the rock.
So your hands crackle with electricity and you call the magic thunder and the rock goes.
What about Ray of Frost? Can you freeze the rock? So cold that it can get shattered into tiny pieces with my warhammer.
I could do that as well. Okay.
Freeze the rock.
So the shocking doesn't do anything. Warhammer. The shocking does nothing to the rock. Okay, so I go up to it, and I push really hard on it, and I shoot it with the Ray of Frost.
Okay. And Ray of Frost isn't a cone, right? It's just into one.
Yeah, it's one.
Yeah.
Okay. As you do that, you see Elsa-style frost go all down the rock, and you think you've well and truly frozen this rock pretty cold.
And then I'm going to use, I guess, the old, there was a pike from the old dead wolf. So I'm going to use that as like a little python. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to use my warhammer and go ding.
Great. You work on that for a little while, but the rock seems really brittle. Your tool using is sound, and you are able eventually to free that first wolf from the rock.
Success. May we continue this adventure?
I do the same thing, and I go over to the other wolf and on that rock, and I do the same thing. I cast Ray of Frost.
You're able to free them both. The wolves kind of like look at each other, and their tongues kind of loll out, and they're like, free, and they kind of like play bow at each other and kind of ruff, 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 and they start running around, and their chains kind of get tangled on each other a little bit, but they start running, and they run out of the room and down the corridor playing free, 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 free.
Let's follow the wolves. I see when I start running behind them.
I hope they don't eat us.
I hope they don't eat my cousin. I said no beards. No beards. No beards. Remember, no beards.
All right. So you walk back out into the cave, and let's see. You have light, so you can see about 20 feet. The main passage from the cave mouth climbs steeply upward, and the stream plunges and splashes down the west side. In the shadow, a side passage leads west across the other side of the stream. You look further up the path, and you notice that the dim shape of a rickety bridge of wood and rope crosses over the passage ahead of you. Another passage intersects this one, 20 feet above the floor.
Where did the wolves go?
You don't see them.
We didn't see which direction they went.
You kind of hear them up ahead, still going play, 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 and the
So
chains
this
going.
way, like towards the bridge.
Yeah.
I guess I would keep walking towards the bridge then.
All right, you hear far away the sound of a waterfall.
I keep walking towards the wolves.
All right. As you continue walking, you hear that goblin giggle that you had heard before, and all of a sudden a mighty roar you hear ahead of you in the passage.
It's the wolves.
This kind of roar doesn't sound like an animal roar. It sounds like water, like a lot of water. And suddenly, a huge surge of rushing water pours down from above through the cave. You just see a wall of water, like this. The stream has suddenly swelled, and there's a tidal wave of water coming toward you. So,
can we dodge?
From which side?
So it's coming straight at you. Like the cave in front of you is filling with water.
Oh.
Okay, so like if we ran out of the cave, we would have to run back the way we came. Right.
So you are, let's see. Desdonia, you are within 10 feet of this passage here on the west side. So for you can attempt a dexterity saving throw to see if you can jump in there.
Oh, and I
get
do.
out of the way of the flood. So give me a dex check.
Oh.
Great. So you see this wall of water coming, and you manage to just kind of duck into this passage and put your back against the wall, and the flood goes past you harmlessly. You get a little bit wet, obviously, but the mass of water doesn't hit you and take you with it. Let's see. Now, the rest of you, if you'd like to try to hold on and not get swept away, you can roll a strength check.
All right.
Strength check or strength saving throw?
A saving throw.
Okay.
Exactly.
Guy will hold on with all his might.
You managed to hold on. What are you holding on to?
I think I'm going to pull a John McClane and get swept up by the water and like grab onto the bridge above me as it like pushes me up.
Okay. So you actually, there's like some ropes and things hanging from this bridge. It's not a very well-made bridge.
Yeah.
You grab one of those ropes and you hang on for dear life, and your feet are being pulled and swept behind you, but you're just holding on, and you manage to hold on.
All right, well, I see the example right in front of me, so I'm not as strong, but I'm going to try as well.
Okay.
To do the same thing as Guy.
You also do the same thing as Guy. You don't look quite as cool as he did doing it, but you manage to kind of grab onto one, and then you kind of wrap your little legs around it and you hold on, and you just got a tight grip on this rope. You're not going anywhere either.
How do you do a strength save? Where do you click?
Click on the STR on your character sheet.
Not on strength.
Below your proficiency bonus.
Oh, in strength saving throws. I see it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I actually have pythons on my character sheet. Actual ones. I didn't know I had them, but now that I look at it, I have 10 of them. So that's a lot. So I'm going to take 2 of them.
Okay.
And plant them as strong as I can into the ground and try to straight up prone and
interesting. Okay.
I'm going to hold my breath.
I'm wondering, let's see. I'm
Do I
going to
get
say,
advantage?
yeah, I'm going to say that gives you advantage.
Yeah. How do I? Okay. So I just 16.
Oh, so you take these, how do you say it? Pitons?
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 Kittens.
And you, pitons. You jam them into the rock and you go, ah, boom. But the rock is so hard that they don't find purchase and they just kind of scrabble. You're like, oh no. And then as soon as
With
you realize
16.
that. Oh, at advantage. That's right. I was just joking. So what happens is you do that once and they don't find purchase, but then you find within yourself the will to try one more time before the wall of water hits you and you drive them into the ground and they hold and the wall of water hits you and washes over you, but you're still holding on. Now, the water runs for a while and you're underwater. So roll me a con saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. You're holding on, but as your lungs just fill with water, you find that you're losing the strength to hold.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as the water pulls you, you eventually do let go against your will. And you are washed back to the mouth of the cave, just tumbling end over end, poof, 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 down the creek bed, hitting rocks. And
you Randall.
And you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage. So luckily you're kind of a roly-poly dwarf and you just kind of like bounce from thing to thing, but you just get a couple bumps and bruises and you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage and you are knocked prone and left sprawled at the mouth of the cave.
I run after. Well, I guess, is the water still like gushing through, or is
you
it
guys
kind
hold
of like tapered out?
But it after a few minutes, there's kind of a deluge of 3 minutes, and then things kind of slowly start to settle back down. It takes a little while, but in about a few minutes, the water's manageable. You can kind of navigate it and get back on the path and run back to the mouth.
Did any wolves float past us?
No, strangely enough, no.
Oh. I move swiftly to the mouth of the cave.
I'm okay.
And I lift you up. What are you doing back there? Why didn't you hold on to something?
I tried to hold on to the pitons that are not called pythons. And it didn't work.
Not very well, you didn't. And I lift you up and bring you back.
Sorry for slowing you down. Quick, let's rejoin with the party. Yeah, my voice really changed versus first episode.
That was a very clever trick that the goblins had here, I say.
So you, Guy and Lilo, you are hanging from these ropes. And the bridge, if you remember, is about 20 feet above the floor. So even if you're about 5 feet down on these ropes, you're still a good 15 feet above the floor. You're up pretty high. You're kind of holding onto these ropes, trying to decide what to do next. When all of a sudden,
Uh-oh.
You hear yet another little giggle, and you notice as you see a little goblin ear and then a little goblin nose poke over the side of the bridge and go, and it takes
Randall. Time to eat.
Are we seeing this as we walk up, since we have pretty good vision of what's going on?
If you didn't, you do see it as soon as the goblin notches its short bow and takes a shot at Lilo. But it misses. It goes wide. But the goblin's kind of standing there like, trying to take shots.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, can I react with a ray of frost at it?
Let's have everybody roll initiative first. So let me clear this first. Hold on. Should have done this before. Okay, now everyone roll initiative.
Oh, no, I forgot again. I'm spending all my good rolls.
All right. So, Desdonia, you notice right away.
I look up, and then as soon as I hear the chuckle and he shoots the arrow, I narrow my eyebrows. I'm like, I just yell out to him, "Hey!" And then I shoot the ray of frost at him.
And I know that I should know this by now, but is that the one that's a cone?
Yeah.
All right.
This one's the ray.
This is the ray?
The ray
of frost is the
ray of frost. Okay.
Yeah.
The goblin, because it is on the bridge and it has the bridge has sides, it is in very partial cover. I would say that it's in like, let me review.
Well, isn't he like reached over? Like as soon as he reaches over to shoot the arrow, that's when I like.
Well, he's kind of like, here's the edge of the bridge, and he kind of peeked he's really short, and he kind of like, so he's still in partial cover, but not much. I just learned cover last week, and I don't want to do it wrong, so give me just a second. So I would say he's in like barely half cover. So roll me. But if it's a spell, it doesn't have a.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that if I have.
Yeah, you hit him. It's fine. You hit him in the face. Roll me your damage. Okay, 13. Unfortunately, doesn't hit the goblin. So what actually happens is it would have hit him in the face, but he sees that and goes and ducks, and it harmlessly goes over him. Yeah. Next up is Lilo. You are hanging from this rope.
Yeah, that water, does it look deep enough now? I kind of just do a gauge that if I were to drop down into the water, I wouldn't take damage.
No, it's only a few feet deep now. It's definitely not enough to splash in.
Perfect. I'm only 3 feet tall. Right?
I mean, it's like 2 feet deep. Like Desdonia and Thornton sloshed up through it.
Well, Thornton, catch me, okay? I say. I kind of glance down at Thornton.
Jen?
Yes.
Yes?
What is it, my friend?
I'm gonna jump down. Catch me.
No, I have other things to do.
No. Well,
I was preparing myself mentally.
We could probably both catch him though, right? Like one by one, like make sure that we
just believe in yourself.
You would have to use your action to catch him. So he can wait till your turn. If you say yes, you're going to catch him.
No, believe in yourself.
I think this would be a good parkour moment. So can I use acrobatics to get down and not take damage?
Describe to me how you would use acrobatics to get down.
So I'm going to swing myself towards the watery way. So the part would, so I'm going to try to splash down and then do a bit of a roll. So the water should help break the fall, and then the roll will help as well.
Okay. So you are going to try to use those 2 feet of water as a landing pad.
Yeah, I'm only 3 feet tall. Should work.
Okay. So you're going to swing and you're going to try to land in the water. All right. Roll me a dex check.
Acrobatics?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, wow. Ooh. You know, it looks for a second like Lilo is crazy because he starts swinging back and forth. And you're like, that water is not deep enough, dude. But he does this really cool kind of flippy thing. And he actually lands in a belly flop, which you think looks like it would really, really hurt. But what it does is it actually spreads out his mass enough that the water stops his fall. And as he sinks slowly into those 2 feet of water, he jumps up and makes a triumphant pose because he's managed to jump and not take any damage. Now it is Guy's turn.
I
look at him impressed, by the way. I'm like,
Lila, where did you end up? Are you under the bridge now, or?
I will end up, I swung towards my party along the river, so right about there.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to hold on to my rope, and I'm going to swing forward, backward, and forward, and backward, and I'm going to try and swing up and over onto the bridge.
Oh, all right. Roll acrobatics as well.
This is some serious acrobatic action.
So you do manage to get a swing going, and you're kind of forward and backward. And each time you get to the point where you're like, I'm going to swing up and over, you're kind of like, okay. And you notice that actually there's just no way physically you can get enough speed to get on top of the bridge. So you've just now put yourself into kind of a wild swing under the bridge.
Okay. Well, can I take my action instead of my movement then to just climb up the rope?
Yeah,
and
sure.
climb
I'll
onto
call
the
what you
bridge?
just did movement.
Okay. And can I just climb onto the bridge then?
Yeah, give me a dex check.
I'll just normally climb up.
All right. It's not easy. The rope is slick, but you do manage to just little by little climb up the rope and find yourself on the bridge with the goblin. That is the bulk of your turn, though. So as the goblin sees you climb up onto the bridge, it snarls at you and says, and runs at you with a scimitar. And it hits you right. It just like runs at you and hits you right in the gut. Oops. This bridge is awkward. Okay. Hits you right in the gut and you take 8 slashing damage.
Oh,
Jesus.
Sweet Jesus. I'm dying again.
All right. You see Guy get hit. Thoradin, what do you do from down below?
I will cast Sacred Flame. So I'm like, by the mighty gods, please rid of us of this evil, evil goblin. As you know, all goblins are evil. Yes, this is a fact. There is no nice goblins. Our religion says so. It's written in the paper that they're always evil. So yes, burn the goblin, burn. 1d8 radiant damage, no cover, benefiting it. Dexterity saving throw. As I click it.
This magic fire surges toward the goblin. It can't even take cover. But it does manage to try to dodge, and it fails. And it gets singed by the sacred flame, taking 6 radiant damage. That goblin looks charred. It does not look healthy.
You are one evil creature. Please leave the game of that once. Even the wolves are nicer.
The goblin... Oh, never mind. It's not the goblin's turn. It's Desdonia's turn.
So the goblin's still up there.
I'm gonna move forwards, like, I don't know, to try to get closer so that one day I can get to the goblin.
Okay.
I just throw out another ray of frost at him.
All right. Ooh. Yeah. You know, it just got real hot and then it got real cold, and somewhere between those two very quick temperature changes, the goblin just falls over in it looks like something burned and then froze. It's very weird and disgusting looking, and that goblin is deadzo.
Gee, I'm no scientist, but shouldn't those two cancel each other out? And it should just heal?
No.
Well, anyways, good job, you two.
Can we get up the bridge?
Thanks.
I have rope. I will lower it. Yes, I have 50 feet of rope that I can, hold on to the bridge with or tie around the bridge and drop down below.
Okay. I imagine that you guys take the necessary precautions to make sure nobody's going to fall, and you maybe even tie it around someone's waist.
I give guidance to the others. Like, you know how to climb a rope? It's very simple.
Yeah, and Guy, I imagine, you tie it off at the top, so it's not even that you have to use your strength. You're just getting everybody to the top. So everybody can climb up to the bridge if they so choose.
Yes.
Right, I'll take that passage.
All right. So you see that this passage that was 20 feet up winds around to the left.
Do we want to go left?
You also see that this
Right.
passage leads off to the right as well.
I kind of feel like this stairway just meets up with the passageway.
Well, it never hurts to check. Why don't you just check real fast?
Why doesn't Thoradin go check real fast?
I'll go check first. It's okay.
Thanks, buddy.
All right.
We have goblin meat, friends. The meat is ready.
All right. Well, as soon as Thoradin walks up to the entrance to there, sorry, I'm still figuring
I'd like
out
to
Roll20.
hold up my shield and be in a defensive stance as I walk up. I don't know if that's possible.
Well, sure, I'll let you retcon that.
You didn't say yet what's happening.
There was a goblin waiting for you right at the entrance, and that goblin takes a swipe at you with its scimitar right as you walk through the door.
Fair enough.
Where is my goblin? There he is. All right. It is a 17, but you have an 18
Doesn't
armor
work.
class.
Yeah.
So you know what it does? It just clang off your shield. And as you look into the room, you see that, in fact, there is another goblin. And over to the right, you actually see your two wolf friends, and they're just kind of playing. They're playing in the water together. Play, 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 play. And they're splashing around.
Food! The meal is ready.
As soon as you say food, they perk up. Poof.
These two. Yummy. Goblin meat.
Roll a persuasion.
Persuasion. It's not my biggest strength.
Ooh, the wolves aren't like, they don't disbelieve you, but they don't believe you. Like, they're looking at these goblins because these goblins are like people they recognize. They're really confused. Like, it's taking them a minute to perceive them as food. So they're just kind of like standing on the shore looking at the goblins confused. They don't do anything. And everyone, let's roll initiative again.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
All right, Desdonia, you hear this clang of the shield, and you get to go first.
I run in there and I...
Wait, oh no. I didn't click it again.
Oh no.
Maybe you just manually do it. Just manually put it on.
I can just add you.
Every time.
Do I hear the clank and I run in there and look at them and I immediately cast sleep on them.
Ooh. You got a 19, right, Jen? Yeah. Or no, that was 13?
Well, whatever. I rolled 19, but once again I forgot to click, so then I rolled 13.
Yep. Her name's already in there, so you can just let it go as the 13.
It's okay. I live with my mistakes every time.
All right, you cast sleep. Is that a multi-target or is that a one target?
It's supposed to be multi-target.
It's a number of hit
Starting
dice.
with the creature has the lowest current hit points. Each creature affected by the spells falls unconscious until the spell ends. The sleeper takes damage or someone uses an action to shake it or slap the sleeper awake. Subtract each creature's hit points from the total before moving on to the creature with the next lowest hit point. A creature's hit points must be equal to or less than the remaining total for that creature to be affected. So I think it's like, what it looks like is, since I rolled a 30, so whatever hit points of the first one gets taken from that. And if there's enough for the next one, then it goes to sleep too. So I don't know how many hit points they have, but I know at least one.
Yep, you'll need to choose a point to start though.
Okay,
so it's 20
the closest one.
All right, so this goblin right here that was in melee with Thoradin immediately just slumps over and starts snoring in a little pile on the ground. You also see that another goblin, the other goblin down the ways a little bit, that one also slumps over. And the wolf that's right next to him also
You'll want to compare that with Thoradin, if Thoradin has more or less HP.
That's true.
It's not only...
It's just it's not just for friendlies, I think.
Oh, oopsies. Okay.
You have to theoretically aim it further away to avoid your friends.
Well, I go in there and cast it at them. So.
Okay.
So if you were standing in front of Thoradin, I'm going to say that it doesn't.
So I run into the room and cast it at them. So.
Okay, let's see. Hold on. Creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose within range. So where's the point at which your 20-foot radius initiates?
Well, I mean, I would initiate it like right at them. So I
right.
would...
So, but it's like you're setting a flag, and
So in radius.
Yeah, so within 20 feet of a point
I guess
you choose.
what the way I run in there and do it is like, and I'm just explaining the way I even thought of it as I was running in, is I look at them both and I cast it at them both. Like, so I'm looking at them. So am I casting it in the middle of them technically? So
basically you have like a sleep bomb, and you're casting the sleep bomb wherever because from that sleep bomb, a 20-foot radius around it will get sleeped.
Okay,
so
and then
for example,
go...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So for example, if you wanted to cast it like here, for example, then it shouldn't reach Thoradin. Probably.
Okay. I would
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, maybe it would.
I would technically...
Because each of these is 5 feet?
I would technically cast it. I don't know if you could... Well, I can't like ping it, but I would cast it like we're in the middle of the two.
Okay, you can use the paintbrush tool. It's below the cursor on the top left, and then just draw a dot. So,
okay.
Yep, go ahead and draw the dot where you'd like it to originate.
My paint skills, like right in there.
Okay.
So each of these squares, if I'm not mistaken, is supposed to be 5 feet. Is that right, Neil?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll draw the approximate radius that this hits. So it will affect a radius of something like that.
Yeah. So that would include all of you. So instead, if you were to cast it like out here, for example, I don't know why I'm out here.
Wait,
maybe
so
that'd be better.
we're only okay. So then, I guess I would. Yeah, I guess that would be where I'd cast it then.
Okay. I'm gonna assume that you cast it far enough out that the range doesn't hit Thoradin. So this goblin right next to you falls asleep, the goblin next falls asleep, and let's see, if you're casting it out there, yeah, you notice that there's a goblin down the way that you didn't see before that also kind of slumps over and falls asleep. And even then, let's see, the wolf, the wolf right next to that goblin looks super sleepy. He doesn't fall asleep, but he just kind of like lays down, and he's like, I'm tired of playing. He looks kind of sleepy, but he doesn't fall asleep.
Okay, cool.
The food is ready.
The wolves perk up. Food?
I point the guy at my feet, like slumped to the ground.
Roll one more persuasion.
Now that it's like stopped moving, it seems like yummier food. Ah!
They're like, that's not food. They don't believe you at all. But they don't seem aggressive or anything. They're just happy to kind of be playing in the water right here. As you guys come in, you take a look around the room, and you notice that right here, it looks like there's the remains of a retaining wall. And these two pools that you see right here, it looks like there have been retaining walls built all around them. In fact, there's this wall in the middle between two pools. The pool on the west side is almost empty. The retaining wall here is knocked down, but there's a pool on the east side with a retaining wall still intact here that does have water in it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very, I kind of muse at this. A very good trap. Well, we should kill these guys before they wake up, I say, as I hold my dagger at this goblin's throat. The short sword, I mean. I believe if you're hitting someone that's slept, it's either advantage or it's an auto crit. I can't remember which, though.
It also, if you don't kill them, would wake them up.
Yeah, it does wake them up.
But I feel like it's advantage, but let's see. I'm trying to think where I would find that.
You are next to someone
someone's
who's
saying auto crit.
If you are next to someone who's prone, you get advantage on the attack, and if someone is unconscious, I believe you automatically crit when you do damage to them.
Let's go with auto crit. That sounds the most reasonable to me. So you auto crit this sleeping goblin.
Cool.
Roll me your attack and damage.
Right. Auto crit would mean I automatically hit, I imagine, right?
Yes.
All right.
You automatically hit and you roll your extra damage.
I know
die.
that I want to be fair to the sleeping goblin. So I know petrified makes you automatically crit. I'm not sure sleeping does. Or a holding person does.
Unconscious. Any attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature. Page 292.
So I do need to roll for hit too. Got it.
Yes, you need to roll to hit
so
and crit.
the good news is if I miss, I can just try again. So here's my attack.
Let me stand next to you so you get...
Yep, there's people standing next to me. So
then you would get an... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
11. Oh, and that's a crit. So that would be actually another 1d6.
Another 2d6 because your sneak attack damage crits as well.
Right. Oh, the sneak attack also does damage. Okay.
That's a lot of damage.
17.
You pretty much probably killed the goblin.
You literally smashed that goblin's guts out.
No, not like that. The throat. That's the way of the rogue.
The guts come right out of his throat. It is just guts everywhere. You killed that goblin so hard that it is no longer a goblin. At that point, the wolves smell the blood.
Oh, it is very ready.
Yes, at that point, the wolves are like, and they go over and they start eating that goblin.
I'll repeat for this goblin too, unless you guys want to join in the fun. I'm more inclined to be the critical person though. It's kind of my thing, you know?
I put everybody to sleep, so.
So Desdonia's just kind of like arms folded, like,
I'm like, I've done my work. No mess.
Don't worry, I'll do the dirty work, I say as I slit this guy's throat. 23 sneak attack and then an extra 2d6. So that's 22 damage.
This is also a pile of goblin gore.
And then I come over here. Hey, someone stand next to me for this. It helps me slit their throat.
Makes me feel better.
And it lets me sneak attack them. Oh, actually, I already have advantage, so I don't need it. Never mind.
I can't abide this mindless slaughter, man. You be you, though.
It's them or us, I say, as I take my short sword to this guy's throat and slice it. 14, so that's a hit. And sneak attack.
While he's doing that, I search the middle goblin. Do I find anything on him?
You find a chicken bone and a few disgusting rancid rags and a string.
I guess I pocket the string.
It's about 4 inches long and really dirty.
Never mind, I leave the string.
And in the meantime, Lilo, you do make disgusting work of that goblin as well. So there are just piles of goblin gore, and these very hungry wolves with the chains still hanging around their necks are working through them and gorging themselves on the goblin meat.
You know, Desdonia, I think you and I could make a very good team. You sleep them, and I'll finish the deed for you.
Guys, come over here. I feel you need some reassurance.
Yeah.
First of all, when dodging, you really need to be steady on your feet. something guidance. Also, cure wounds.
Oh, thank you. Could really use that right around now.
Oh, 10.
Best Thor did. You're like the favorite dwarf.
I'm like back massaging you as I'm telling you the guidance, and I'm like, it's gonna be okay, guy. I believe in you.
Really get those goblin scimitars right out. Ugh.
As Lilo wipes his sword, wipes the blood off of it, the wolves have their dinner. Desdonia surveys her work proudly as the sleeping goblins are now dead, and Thoradin and Guy continue to build a strong bond by Thoradin guiding Guy. The party surveys their work, but realizes there is much yet to be done, which we will tune in to find out what happens next week. The end for episode 2! That was the second installment of The Lost Mine of Phandelver here on Misscliks D&D. We're going to continue at least through just the first couple chapters of Lost Mine. We don't know exactly when we're going to stop because it depends on a few things, which are how busy I get by producing the new show that I am on Twitch, as well as when we're ready to do our next Misscliks D&D larger scale campaign, which will be DM'd by Neil. So in the meantime, any shout outs or cool announcements that you guys have for the upcoming week?
Neil better announce something.
I have a bunch of regular streaming hours on my channel. Some good D&D shows are coming up too.
What about the oh wait, what?
It's on Twitter.
I'm also on this thing called Stream On. It's this little small production that's happening over on Twitch. I was actually not going to say anything on Misscliks about it, but you know, it's a thing. It's kind of cool.
Something you're doing is share it for sure.
I'll have some better things to say about it later, and some more interesting things to say about it later. But it's pretty cool, and I don't know. I don't self-promote. Trump, say something.
Well, they pick. I'm gonna Neil promote. They picked the most dedicated cast member they could find because I saw him in a similar challenge, and he was completely nuts about winning all the challenge. So if there are challenges, Neil's gonna be the man. That's it.
I'm rooting for you, Neil. I think you can take it down. And I think that you're a really good stream to promote since you do some really unique things, all D&D all the time and all that.
Like no sleeping.
I think those days are behind me, Jen. Getting too old for that.
Oh, wow. What has happened, Neil?
And I'll self-promote too. So just like we brilliantly destroyed all the goblins here, I will destroy all the things in Neil and I's other Dungeons and Dragons campaign on Saturday. Yes. You remember that one, Neil?
You guys were brutal.
Monsters. They didn't do anything.
You were brutal.
I'm actually missing that time, but you'll get to see Neil in the new cast.
So one-sided. You guys were the worst.
Yep.
Do you have anything?
Nothing much here. Just streaming, variety streaming, working on building an IRL backpack. So that is almost complete. So I'll be starting IRL streaming again, which I'm very excited for because I had to do some cool things the first time around and excited to explore and do more with that. And introducing Glass back into the stream again starting next week. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yep.
I am on another Dungeons and Dragons show that's Planescape on Thursday with DM Holly Conrad. That's going to be from 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific right before Critical Role on the D&D channel, so twitch.tv/D&D. I play a kleptomaniac rogue named Will, which is really fun. And right before this show is also another Dungeons and Dragons show every Tuesday from 4 to 6 called Dice Camera Action, which is kind of the flagship D&D show of the D&D channel, in which I play a paladin of Lathander named Evelyn, who actually originally came from a show on this channel, which not many people know, actually. Not many people have gone back and watched Misscliks Outbreak. But that's where she came from. It was a
short-lived show.
It was very short-lived. But I will say, on a Misscliks community note, something that you guys could really, really do to help me out and support me is that I am the lead producer on Stream On, which is the show that Neil mentioned. I do want to clarify something, which is that I don't get to choose who the participants are. So the fact that I play with Neil doesn't mean that I was like, Neil gets grandfathered in on this show. There were a lot of other people that watched his audition and decided they wanted him on the show. So please make that clear and put that to rest in your mind. I am the lead producer, but I am not judging, nor did I get to choose, at least not solely me. And Anyway, what you can do for me is that as producer on that show, I need it to succeed. I need people to watch it, and I need Twitch to be really happy about it. So if you could please tune in on March 8th to twitch.tv/Twitch at 3 p.m. That's when our premiere is. It's going to be every Thursday at 3 p.m. on Twitch, and it's going to go for a long time. It's going to go for 11 weeks. So tune in, support the streamers who are watching, and if you can, give me support and exposure on Twitter for the show. Talk about whether you like it or not. Retweet if you think it's fun to watch, and participate if you can, because all of the streamers who are competing are going to be participating in challenges that they need community's help to win. So choose your favorite streamer and try to help them win the grand prize, which is going to be $60,000, which translates to $5,000 a month for a year, to help them take their streaming career to the next level. So
really awesome.
So tune in.
Cool.
Any other shout outs before we go?
I didn't do any. You can follow me at Live in Pink, and I also have a second D&D show, because that's what we do on this channel apparently. All the D&D shows.
Yes.
On Saturday with Roll For It at 1 p.m. Eastern. Where I play a wizard who just hired an executive assistant. And I'm very excited about this.
Your guys' costumes are on point, by the way.
And we wear really extravagant costumes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That image that you put, holy cow, is so cool.
And I have to redo that makeup every week, which is hell. It's a big mistake. But it's
Very cool.
Awesome. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, thank you for being part of my first foray into DMing. Thank you for wanting to come watch and support, even though watching someone learn is sometimes painstaking. I hope that if you are considering being a DM, that you're encouraged and that you'll feel free to ask me any questions. You can find me on Twitter at Anna Prosser, and you can find Misscliks on Twitter at Misscliks. Hope you'll also click the follow button to follow this channel to be notified when we go live with other shows. And until next week, farewell. We'll see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Bye.